Episode 8 of The Boys Season 5 is less about defeating Homelander and more about deciding what kind of world should exist after him. The finale brings every major theme of the series together: power, revenge, fear, love, propaganda, and identity. While the episode has big fights and deaths, the emotional focus is really on choice. Almost every major character is forced to decide who they truly are once they run out of excuses. At the start of the finale, Homelander has finally become what he always wanted to be. Earlier seasons showed him craving approval and attention. But by episode 8, he no longer wants love. He wants absolute submission. His speech at the White House reflects this transformation perfectly. He openly calls himself God and promises a golden dawn. The language here is important because it mirrors authoritarian movements throughout history. Leaders like this often present themselves as saviors during times of fear and instability. They promise safety, unity, and greatness while threatening violence against anyone who refuses to obey. Homelander is no longer pretending to be a superhero. He has become a dictator wrapped in religious imagery. Ryan confronts Homelander early in the episode and directly attacks the core of Homelander's worldview. Ryan tells him that forcing people to call him God doesn't actually make him one. This matters because Homelander's greatest insecurity has always been loneliness. Deep down, he knows fear isn't the same as connection. People obey him because they are terrified, not because they truly care about him. Ryan understands this in a way Homelander never could. The tragedy of Homelander is that he keeps gaining more power while becoming emotionally emptier. Every victory isolates him further. By the finale, he controls the world more than ever, yet he has almost nobody left beside him. Ryan's role in the finale is extremely important because he represents possibility. Throughout the season, there has been constant fear that Ryan will become another Homelander. Episode 8 finally rejects that idea. Ryan chooses empathy over domination. When he tells Homelander that more power will only make him lonelier, he exposes the emotional truth behind Homelander's entire journey. Homelander believes control will fix the emptiness inside him, but Ryan understands that emotional isolation can't be solved through violence or worship. This is why Ryan ultimately joins the fight against him. The series constantly asks whether people are trapped by their pasts. Ryan proves they're not. He's literally Homelander's son and was raised around violence, manipulation, and fear. Yet he still chooses differently. The finale argues that identity is shaped by choices, not bloodlines. Kimiko's storyline becomes the emotional center of the episode. At first, Sage believes Kimiko's new abilities depend entirely on rage, similar to Soldier Boy's powers. This reflects how many characters in The Boys view strength. They think pain, hatred, and anger are what create power. But the finale ultimately shows why that's not true. When Kamiko freezes during the final battle, she realizes she isn't angry anymore. She's grieving. Frenchie's vision then tells her something extremely important. Rage was never what made her strong. Love was. This completely changes the meaning behind her powers. Most Supes in The Boys become weaker emotionally as they gain more power physically. Kamiko becomes stronger because she holds onto her emotions instead of abandoning them. Frenchie's words remind her that her strength has always come from her heart, not her violence. This contrasts directly with Homelander, who views emotions as weaknesses. Kamiko wins because she stays emotionally human, while Homelander loses because he abandoned his humanity years ago. MM's role in the finale continues the themes connected to his backstory earlier in the season. He remains the moral center of the group. While other characters drift toward revenge or extremism, MM continues trying to protect people rather than control them. This is why he survives emotionally, while many others collapse psychologically. The scene where he renews his vows at the end is important because it represents rebuilding instead of destroying. Unlike Butcher, MM still believes life after trauma is possible. That makes him one of the few characters who truly escapes the cycle. Deep's ending is fitting because his entire story has always been about insecurity and cowardice. He constantly changes his beliefs depending on whoever holds power over him. He sacrifices his morals repeatedly just to stay accepted. By the finale, Homelander openly tells him he's worthless. This completely destroys Deep because validation is the only thing he ever truly wanted. His death at the hands of marine life is symbolic. Earlier in the season, He betrayed the ocean and ignored environmental destruction to stay loyal to Vought. Now the creatures he claimed to protect turn against him. Deep's death reflects how systems built on selfishness eventually consume the people supporting them too. He helped create the world that destroyed him. Ashley and Sage both survive the finale, but for very different reasons. Ashley survives because she constantly adapts to whoever has power. She rarely acts out of loyalty or belief. Her main goal is survival, and throughout the series she has learned how to shift sides before things completely collapse. Sage survives because she understands systems better than almost anyone else in the show. She sees how politics, corporations, fear, media, and power all connect together. Unlike Homelander, who controls people emotionally through fear, Sage controls situations intellectually by predicting behavior. However, the series also shows that even Sage can't perfectly control human emotions. Earlier in the episode, Sage intentionally provokes Kimiko by insulting Frenchie and comparing him to a loyal lapdog. She does this because she understands that Kimiko's new powers are connected to emotional intensity, just like Soldier Boy's powers. Sage willingly sacrifices her own abilities to prove the experiment worked and to give the boys a real chance against Homelander. Homelander's death is brutal and intentionally ugly. Butcher beats him to death while the world watches. This matters because the show refuses to romanticize power in the end. Homelander dies like a frightened man begging for his life. For years, he presented himself as untouchable and godlike. Losing his powers strips away the illusion immediately. Once Homelander loses his abilities, he becomes physically human again. This reinforces one of the series' biggest ideas. Much of power depends on perception. Homelander's myth collapses the moment people see vulnerability. Butcher killing Homelander with a crowbar instead of some advanced weapon is symbolic too. After years of giant plans, politics, corporations, and god complexes, the conflict ends in something simple and physical. One broken human kills another broken human. Butcher's storyline in the finale completes one of the show's oldest themes. Throughout the series, Butcher slowly became more extreme in his hatred of soups. By episode 8, Homelander is dead, yet Butcher still wants to release the virus and wipe out all soups entirely. That moment is very important because it proves Homelander was never the only target. Butcher's hatred grew beyond justice and turned into obsession. Hughie finally realizes this. The final confrontation between Hughie and Butcher isn't really about stopping the virus. It's about stopping Butcher from fully losing himself. Butcher believes total destruction is the only true victory. Hughie believes there must still be limits, even after everything they suffered. This reflects the central moral divide of the series. Does pain justify becoming cruel yourself? The finale's answer is no. Butcher's death is tragic because he understands this too late. His final compliment to Hughie matters because Hughie succeeded where Butcher failed. Hughie stayed human. The final scenes focus heavily on rebuilding. Kamiko moves to Paris and adopts the dog she and Frenchie talked about. Renews his vows. Hughie reopens his father's electronics store and prepares to become a father himself. These moments matter because they reject the idea that killing Homelander was the victory. The real victory is learning how to live after everything that happened. Episode 8 brings the boys back to the ideas that defined the series from the beginning. It examines how fear creates power, how propaganda shapes society, and how trauma can either destroy people or push them toward compassion. The ending suggests that cycles of violence only end when people consciously refuse to continue them. Butcher couldn't do that, but Hughie could. Homelander couldn't do that, but Ryan could. That generational contrast is what gives the finale hope. The final message of the boys isn't that power corrupts. It's that people must constantly choose what kind of person they want to become once they have power. And in the end, the people who survive emotionally aren't the strongest ones physically. They're the ones who never fully stopped being human. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.